we've talked about savings and we've talked about investing, but there's a little bit more to being successful in planning for retirement. And Farnoosh, I know you've also, in some of the articles that you've written, talked about some of the common planning mistakes or pitfalls that we can fall into as traps. Of course, retirement accounts have a lot of tax rules and regulations, and then we also have to analyze the rest of our competing financial priorities and decide what to do. Can you walk us through this?
Yeah, sure. So I'm really geeky when it comes to this stuff. I think that we have to re-engineer our financial plan today in terms of how we're spending, how we're filing our taxes, how we're spending our money, how we're paying off debt, et cetera, and how we're planning for other goals to really be able to find the wiggle room to bring in retirement savings and make it and prioritize it. So beginning with spending leaks, we all can do better in this department. I think even myself, and I'll be the first to admit that looking at my budget, there are probably areas where I'm spending money that I don't need to be, that it's not important to me, or I'm spending more than I really have to be. So I'm a big fan of negotiating your bills. You should do this with cable, with your cell phone, with your insurance agents. Just call and ask for discounts. Period. That's the request. That's the ask. I'd like to save money.
Don't get me started on the cable companies.
Oh, I saved a friend $180 the other day just calling her cable company. They also upgraded her plan. So if you need help, call me. Not really, but that the point is it can be done. So really attacking your budget and figuring out where you have those leaks and where you can make improvements. You'll be surprised. You might find an extra few $100s a month you didn't know you had. Failing to maximize your tax benefits. It's tax season now. I'm doing a lot of education to remind people that, if you're a new parent, make sure you're taking advantage of certain credits and deductions. If you're a small business owner, make sure you're keeping those receipts to be able to, efficiently pay your taxes. In other words, pay just as much as you should pay, not overpay. And sometimes we really, whether it's disorganization or lack of knowledge of what our incentives are, we end up paying more to Uncle Sam. Well, that money could go back in your pocket. Paying just the minimum on credit cards. This was something that I failed with when I was just starting out. You get that credit card and you spend $400 and all it says you have to pay is $12 that month. Well, fabulous. I'll do the $12. But the realization is that when you're just paying the minimum, it's like on this treadmill to nowhere. And that debt's not going to get knocked down. You'll end up paying a lot in interest. So pay triple, quadruple the minimum if you can't do the whole balance every month. And then finally, I think that particularly for parents who are stressed out about college and for parents who want to pay for college, I think that's a big goal for parents. It's sort of a pride thing. It's a maybe they want to, it's a legacy they want to be able to afford. They got to remember that there are lots of ways to afford college and that your child can support that too, whether it's working, going part-time, choosing an affordable school, getting some affordable loans, getting scholarships, getting grants. There's none of that for retirement, right? For retirement, it's all on you. And if you put college savings ahead of retirement, which a lot of families are doing, unfortunately, what's going to happen when you're 65? Your child might have a great degree, but you don't have enough money to pay your health bills and to cover your mortgage. So we're seeing, as it is, lots of families move in together as a result of this because mom and dad didn't do enough to cover their own assets in retirement. And so I always tell parents to prioritize their retirement before college savings.
So Nathan, that's a great point. Part of the mindset here is if I feel guilty about allowing my child to graduate with debt, wouldn't I feel even more guilty if my child had to take care of me in my retirement?
Absolutely, absolutely. So to some people, the motivation that we come back all the way to the visualization at the beginning is, I want to be independent. I don't want to be a burden on anyone. For a lot of people, that's their goal with retirement, and that's a very child-focused goal. If you think about that goal and with all the emotion that it brings, that can be as important or more important a goal than, saving enough to send someone to any college they want to go to. Now, saving for college is important, and we don't want to downplay that, but this is also important. And again, we're going to go where the emotions lead us. So if we can picture this in a way that has the emotion that college has, the idea of my kid graduating and all that has emotion to it, let's put some emotion around retirement because it is going to be a very emotional experience you have if you don't have enough for retirement. So let's anticipate a little of that and say, I don't want to be a burden, and let's harness that emotion to push us to save today.
Yeah, I've always felt one of the greatest gifts a parent could give a child is to be financially independent, take that burden off of them. So I think that's a great point.